When your father passes away, you inherit his lifelong project. It's a TV show where he goes out and tries to explain mysterious and supernatural events to prove that they're real. Basically, it's a shittier BuzzFeed Unsolved. But now that task has been bestowed upon you, and it is now your job to go out into the city streets and find any mysterious news and factoid articles that you can and prove them. And to get your ratings up as well, or else your show's going to be canceled. And as you get the insider scoop and you meet all these different people on your journey, you realize that they are extremely supernatural in their own way. In the days before Love and Deepspace, I got an ad for a dating sim named Mr. Love Queen's Choice on YouTube, and there was only one thing I saw that made me want to download it, and it was English voice acting. And this was so innovative for me at the time, because who else has English voice acting in their dating sims? Like Mystic Messenger doesn't, like no big name dating sims. Not even the paid dating sims really. Like English voice acting is a rare commodity. That's what drew me to Mr. Love in the first place, and then ultimately its sequel / brother sister game, Love and Deepspace. I wonder what's going on over there actually.
不要用它说一些危险的话。这种粗暴，我同样喜欢。不过
，never mind. And actually, I assume they shelled out a lot of money for the voice actors, because there are some names that you might recognize. For Victor, he's voiced by Benjamin Diskin, and then transitioned to Jonah Scott. Kiro is voiced by Sean Chiplock. Gavin is voiced by Joe Zija, and Lucien is voiced by Bill Rogers, and Sean is voiced by Alex Lee. I guess this is before Alex Lee like really blew up, so he's probably much more expensive now, but like that's crazy. So yeah, no matter how much I complain about this game, I truly love it. When it was in international controversy, I was there. When I didn't have enough for pity, I was there. And when they replaced my favorite voice actors that I just was talking about, I was there. And when they artificially increased the game difficulty, I'm not gonna lie, I dropped it after that. That was my last point. But we'll get to that later. If you played a game, then you know how this works. You have to pull cards from the love interest, level them up, and then use those stats to progress the game levels, and then you'll progress the story. And ideally, you pull limited event-themed cards that designs that you'll like. And what designs I like? Well, similar to this event called Mr. and Mr. Love, called House of Love. Yeah, would have been great to pull a card from there, wouldn't it? I'm not bitter about that at all. That's not an event that they hyped up for a long time that I wasn't able to get cards from. Not me. Okay, so recap. You are a producer for a TV show that showcases supernatural events and attempt to prove them. You inherited the show from your dad, who was hell-bent on proving the supernatural. You see how, like, this starts off with a very normal concept. Like, yes, it's like a supernatural, like, bit, but, like, I feel like the concept is still pretty simple. Alright, I'm going to go over each boy and their relationship with you. I just want to start this off by saying Victor has 4 SP cards, aka the highest tier, ultra rare cards, and I had 2 of them. These are hard to get, and I'm incredibly biased because yes, he was my favorite. He's the CEO of the company that owns your broadcast, but your ratings are terrible, so he gives you like 30 days to get your views up, or he's shutting that shit down. One of the best things that this game does is that they genuinely make Victor unlikable in the beginning, that I usually will default to, and oh my god, I usually will default to like, oh my god, I could fix him. But with Victor, it was genuinely like I need to hurt him. Like he gets on my nerves so much. I was pissed off anytime he came up on screen. He is so snarky and sassy and unapologetically looks down on you. I could not help but hate him at first, and that's why he's so well written and developed, is because look at that. Look at the character development. Look at that relationship development. You just don't get much of that these days. And, you know, and also his looking down upon you motivates you to do better for your show, and ultimately helps you achieve your goals of making your show a success. And once Victor realizes that you're serious about your show, he also starts investing in your potential. Once he warms up to you and realizes that you're competent, I feel like the relationship develops in like more of a natural way. It's like, it's a really good like enemies to lovers-esque, I guess, like slow burn. It's great. I think it also really benefits that he's not just like there to be a love interest, but he's also there to play the role of like the initial antagonist, then a mentor, then a friend. Which, like, duh, if we give the love interest more fleshed out roles and personalities and lives, you'll feel more strongly towards them. You know how hard it is to do that in a dating sim? We took away the romance option for the majority of characters. It's hard for them to still be interesting. Like, that's just how the game is built. But for Victor, I would say yes, he's still like an interesting character, even if I could not date him. It's also, I guess, because he's like this like weird like millionaire character. There's this weird arc where he has a hobby of being like this eclectic chef who only opens his shop for like 2 hours on random days. And everyone wants to eat there, obviously. And I know it's like to make him seem more quirky and less hostile, because he's extremely hostile. But like, I don't know, like to me it was like such a nothing burger of an arc. Like we spent like a whole chapter researching this, and it's like, oh my god, it's Victor, and it's like I'm confused about what this is going to do for the story, other than make him seem more quirky, which it does. Also, it shows that he could cook, which like I'll take it. But this is basically never mentioned again. But that's also, you could just blame. I'll just blame the writers for that, because the setup was great, honestly, if they took it, but they kind of went in a completely different direction than I thought the story was going to go in. Oh yeah, did I mention he has the power to stop time? Did I mention that all of your love interests have some type of power? Well, no, I did. And honestly, I would totally see like a CEO just abusing his powers to make himself rich. Because that's something I would do too. Like, that's some shit I would do. The most unrealistic part in Mr. Love isn't even, I would argue, the magic powers, or all of the attractive men with their lives together fawning over you. It's the fact that Victor reads the reports that you write him. And also that you write reports. Like, you're both CEOs of your companies, and you're not putting it off to some poor assistant. Like, CEOs are not reading reports. Honestly, it's crazy that she was able to get him in a room to speak with him, like, instantly. Like, she showed up to his office and was like, I need to speak with him right now. Considering that, you know, like, she's his direct supervisor, she didn't make his secretary do it. Like, that's crazy. I know some of you are going to say, oh, that's his competitive advantage. He only got that rich because he reads all fucking 1,000 reports and makes his decisions from there on. And you know what? I'll allow it, because only someone who is bored enough to decide that they want to open a cafe with the world's worst hours would read every single fucking report by hand. And Gavin, he's a cop. Yeah. He can also fly, I guess. Okay, seriously, honestly, I didn't even care about his occupation in the beginning of the game, but I did always think he was boring, so there's that. Like, his whole character is built around him being a cop. Like, you guys can't blame me for this. It's not the fact that he's a cop, it's the fact that all he is cop and nothing else. He shows up initially so he can get like behind the scene knowledge on any weird supernatural things. Like, there's generally long stints of the story where he goes missing and you're unable to contact him because he's like away on missions, and you just have no idea where he is. He obviously doesn't inform you like beforehand. Well, sometimes he will, actually. Sometimes they'll tell you, like, hey, I'm gonna be missing. Sometimes you'll try to contact him and he just won't respond. So that's cool, I guess. And I honestly wouldn't even care, except he put like a tracking bracelet on you, and he's like, I'm always gonna be here when you need help, and then when you need help, sometimes he's not there, and it's like, well, what was the point of you saying that to me? He's just making false promises. Spoiler, it turns out he's not a cop, but he's like in a secret organization. Well, I guess he is like a secret organization cop, but he's working undercover as a regular cop, and the secret organization as a whole is keeping track of you. And I guess, like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like creepy that he's like watching over you. I didn't take it in such a way, because he's just like so earnest and honest about everything. It's hard to like look at him and be like, wow, like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, there's only, like, I can generally only think of like one card where I'm like, okay, I can see the appeal. And it was such a cute like card, but it was like for like, it's not in the main story. You have to pull the card, and the main character gets sick, and you know, I don't know if you call him or he calls you, but you tell him, and he's like, well, okay, well, don't fucking go to work today. And he's there like, okay, I won't. And then they call you at work, and he's like, there's an emergency, so you go to work, and he goes to your house, and he's like, he doesn't see you, so he goes to go work, and he picks you up and carries you out to go back home. And I'm like, that, okay, like that I can see the appeal of, because that's cute. But like everything else about his character is just like, it's just so boring. Like, he's like obligatory nice guy, a nice guy that's never there, and it's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this. Also, his power is that he can fly. I forgot to mention that. Like, that's cool. No, Lucien. This guy is like so comedically suspicious. Like, the first chapter you meet him, like, he's just giving immediate sus vibes. And I thought it was so funny. And to me, his hotness outweighed any suspicious behaviors I was observing from him. Literally, you know, like the bit where it's like a meme where the villain will say something really vague and suspicious, and they'll look into the camera. That's literally him. When you first meet him, he pushes you like against like the chalkboard wall in an empty classroom, and he whispers in your ear, even though you guys are alone in there. It's supposed to be like cool, it's sexy, and I was in high school, I was like, oh my god, cute. And like looking back, I'm like, that's why would you do that? Like, that's when you first meet him. And his whole bit is like, you know, he's like the super smart, mysterious researcher, and he's really cool, and you always ask him for advice, and like he gives you good advice, and he takes care of orphans, and he's just like such a sweet guy. He's like they push Lucien so much. Like his card is one of the first 3 cards that you get. And I love the fact that they push him so much, because spoiler alert, they reveal that he's like actually super evil. Oh my god. And I was fine with it until he started arguing his case for eugenics. And to make it you guys feel better, you are included in the eugenics. So like he wants your survival, just not the survival of other people. Specifically, he wants non-super powered people to die, and the super powered people to live. And he's like, well, survival of the fittest, guys. like come on, we learned this in biology class. He said this to like a group of like reporters. Like, I'm not over exaggerating. Like, he's literally argued the case for eugenics, and I'm reading it. I'm like, there's no fucking way this guy's dead ass. He's a scientist. He's taking care of orphans. What do you mean you're pro eugenics? Oh yeah, and there's like this bit where he tries to kidnap you, and you guys have like this aura off, and you tell him like, if you try to grab me, I'm going to kill myself in front of you right now. And you like hold, I think it was like a pen. You hold this like sharp ass pen to your throat easily, and at first he doesn't believe you. He tries to call your bluff, but you're like, nah, I'm really gonna do it. And he gives up, and he like leaves. He lets you be alone for another day. But he's like kind of like, he's the guy that will like, you'll be like in the middle of like something, and he'll show up, he'll say some like annoying shit to piss you off, like, and then he'll leave. Like the roles have switched. It used to be like the Victor who piss you off, and then now it's Lucien. He'll literally antagonize you the whole fucking time after you guys first have like your first fight. But honestly, like when it's revealed that he's like evil, like one chapter after that, like a couple chapters after that, I would say, is when the story starts to fall apart. Like, I feel like there's so much we could have done with his character and his reveal being as it is, and I really like the dynamic of him showing up to help, like, you not die, because he wants to keep you alive, and then saying something annoying, and then running out, and then scurrying away, and that's a dynamic I really fuck with, but the story was not built to be like that, and I just feel like we had so much potential. It's a shame. And for Kiro, he's honestly pretty simple as a character. He's like obligatory, super sweet and kind idol character that everyone wants. He's really sweet, but like honestly, his character didn't have enough depth for me to feel like a romantic connection with him. I guess because everyone kind of felt similar. Also, he has an evil personality. That's like not revealed till like way like deep into the story. That's also where the story started to fall off. Like anyway, initially when you first meet him, you get him on your show to give viewers, because what's better? Well, you get him on your show to give viewers because what's better than an idol showing up on your show that's super popular? And his power is mind control, and he can kind of influence people and tell them what to do, including you. Which I feel like the game left an untapped market, because I feel like we did not explore enough time utilizing that. But anyway, his evil personality is like this edgy, evil guy that I know they kind of added it to like make his character feel like more like versatile and death, I guess. To me, it unironically fully downgraded his character. Like, you have that much, like, unironically, like, even Lucien, the pro eugenics guy, is less of an asshole than the sweetheart idol personality guy is. And it's like, I kind of need the eugenics guy to be the most asshole out of all of the characters. I don't get the appeal of making him switch personalities between, like, he's like artificially super sweet. He's like super sweet candy, and then it's just like death. And it's like, you can meet in the middle somewhere. It's like I would love if it was just like, once the cameras are off, he's like slightly annoyed, but like the whole bit is like, even when you, at least the first early chapters, when you first meet him, he's super sweet, like all the way, like with you, on camera, off camera, backstage, when he's annoyed, he's just like super sweet. And it's only when he fucking does his evil personality shit, and it's like, I would rather he just be like annoyed, or like slightly like, we don't need to do this. I'm sure a lot of people enjoy it though. It's like, I apologize if like you love evil Kiro, like I'm really sorry. But it's not my thing. I just honestly prefer regular Kiro. Literally all they do, by the way, is like they put like edgy like clothes on him, and they make his hair sprite white instead of blonde. And they make his eyebrows downturned to signify that he's evil or an angrier. Yeah, he's still like deliberately an asshole to you. And when you first meet him, when he's like fucking cosplaying this shit, I guess, you're like, hey, are you Kiro? And he's like, no, I don't know if I can know what that is, lying ass. And he's like deliberately an asshole to you, and it's like that gives me like a craziest ick. Nah, and like I'm just, are you supposed to look past that? Like, oh my god, like he cares about you so much. He wants to keep you safe. Which, like, I guess for like the first 15 minutes, like by the time that his character is like in the game at this point, like the evil side, like you are being actively hunted down. Like your life is actively in danger. You're only making my life harder by pretending that you don't know me, because now I'm scared. Now I don't think I have any allies in the situation that I am. It's like you're just being an asshole. And genuinely, like at the point in the game, you've almost died multiple times. It's like, are you having like a schizophrenic break? Like I don't understand the appeal of this side of the character. And obviously, I'm sure you guys want to know my opinion on this. Sean Chiclock gave me major FOMO when House of cards dropped. I'm sorry, like he tweeted like some shit about Kiro's character, and he's like, "You guys aren't gonna want to miss this." I'm like, "What the fuck is that? I want this fucking card." Like, I'm sorry, I really want that card. I'm sorry. I was so stressed. I was pulling my hair out. Yeah, and Sean. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure why they added Sean in, especially considering they barely dropped cards for him. Like, he fills up the bad boy niche, which Kiro, I guess, wasn't fulfilling properly, because, yeah, fucking look at him. Like, are you kidding me?
Did you see his fucking haircut?
So,
oh god,
shit.
Parents don't care about him.
He's like, so they shoved him in there. But like, I don't get it, because like, to me, like, there's like specific dynamics for each character. Gavin and Kiro are like two sides of the same coin, but they both fill up the nice guy niche in slightly different ways, but the outcome is the same. They're overly nice to you, and it's just like the ending is the same. Dynamics is relatively the same. Lucien and Victor fill up the banter, like you know, you're going to end up with like some type of like banter in the dynamics. Slightly different dynamics. And Sean just adds into that, where he's like the banter guy. He's like slightly more banter, which I guess is like fine, because at the part that they introduce him in, like you're just like stressed out as fuck, so you're not really in a bantering mood with Lucien or Victor. So they have to throw in a new guy to add in the dynamics that the game is missing, because they fucked up the story too much. Yeah, I don't understand why they felt it was necessary to add him into the game. I don't do anything with him. Like, at least with Love and Deepspace, when they add in a new guy, they keep adding in cards for him. Why is he here? Like, I don't get it. I just feel bad. So I feel like he has great potential as a character, and especially because like if there's one thing that this game does well, is that it has amazing banter, like generational banter, which some people cannot do. Like, I was giggling and like kicking my feet and twirling my hair while reading the banter in this game. Like, it's great. Now, regarding the VAs, some of you might be aware of the controversy that occurred, which shows that, which kind of, I guess, started the downfall of this game. Aside from the story, just like monetary, like, and just coverage-wise, started the downfall of the game. One day, the voice actor for Victor, in a now deleted tweet, Jonas Scott, said that Taiwan is its own country. And within 24 hours, Elex posted their own tweet. They said that they are parting ways with Jonas Scott and removing his lines from the game. So, like, if you try to play the game with any Victor voice lines, specifically that Jonas Scott did, it was like mute. It was gone. And literally a couple hours later, Sean and Joe released statements saying that they are resigning if Jonah is not reinstated. And Alex, like he also tweeted out saying he's like, listen, whatever my cast theory is with, I agree. Like, he didn't say it directly, but he said, like, listen, I fuck with my cast. And next day, they removed everyone's voice lines from the game. So everything was text only. No voice lines. Silent. And it sounds great. It sounds great, doesn't it? So months later, they basically canned everyone and wiped the board clean, and they got a new cast. Which is like, the cast is great, but it's like, obviously something is off. It's fundamentally not the same. But at the end of the day, Mr. Love is a Chinese game, so like they don't really have a choice in the matter. As I'm sure that like if they really truly cared about this, they wouldn't do anything about it. But like, to have a tweet like that from a voice actor in a game that you own, the CCP's knocking on your door within 30 seconds, and they're gonna fuck up your whole company. So they honestly really have no choice in the matter. That's also why and you guys may be aware of like why Hoyoverse moved their company to be stationed out of China. That is why. So they can get the CCP's hands from meddling in their game. Yeah, this is a situation where they're legally required to comply. And Lucien's VA was honestly the only one that was like silent on the whole thing. But they still I guess they got rid of him for fun at this point. He actually pulled back from social media because everyone was harassing him to like, they wanted to like, let me hear your position on the situation. How do you feel about this? And Sean had to step in. He's like, you guys need to chill the fuck out. You guys are trying to force a stance from him. Like, chill. So that's kind of where the voice acting situation has been. So it's amazing. It's great. So that's why, honestly, you can tell that they took their mistakes and they learned, and when they iterated for Love and Deepspace, because you might tell, okay, Love and Deepspace, who's the voice actor for any of these characters? Like, who's the voice actor for Silas? You'll hear his voice. If you try to look into like the graphics and stuff, like the credits, cannot find it. You might even hear his voice in other commercials, because a lot of people do that, but they cannot officially, I assume it's part of the contract, that they cannot officially say that they are working on the game, which makes sense, because they're like, we're not getting this shit again. The all over issues that with this game is that a lot of media does this, where they don't really have like a fully fledged story right now, but they are incentivized to keep it going for as long as possible, in which they will just artificially escalate and inflate every fucking arc, and to the point where you will have problems escalate too quickly, which is very bad. Obami gets around this issue by sort of having this monster of the week setup, where every new arc introduces some sort of information. There's a conflict, but we still make sure to go back to whatever baseline is. All that we gain is some type of new information, but ultimately there is still a baseline that is preserved, no matter what, with every arc. And that's what Mr. Love sincerely needs. Honestly, this format might sound vaguely similar. Steven Universe did this a lot. Another series that you might also take note of is Kill la Kill, where they also have season the first half of the season, Monster of the Week second half of the season, a strong escalation, which is necessary for the story. Like, it's like it worked out in that way by design. Ultimately, majority of season 1 is great. It's the end of season 1 that's the issue. I think for me, it started with there's this arc where you have to investigate this meetup. It starts pretty normally. You have to investigate this meetup. So you go undercover and you get like put into this actual like villainous bad guy lair, and it's like this evil maze you have to escape. And then like the implication is that like you're in over your head, but the in over your head never returns to baseline. Like, we can't be in over our head for like fucking forever. I mean, like, you can be like, at least you just do that, but I just feel like we set up expectations at the beginning of the story for what was happening, and they have not been delivered. After that, there's this arc with Victor. You guys have to like escape an evil torture facility. Please don't ask me to expand upon it. And during that escape, you get struck by lightning and collapse. I hated like the whole escape arc, but afterwards the arc is this arc where honestly Victor just dotes on you the whole time. I like that one. It's great. Like that one gave me hope, because like it's just such a good arc where like he dotes on you and like his character just like fully develops, and you know, you guys like have some back and forth where you're like, listen, I don't need security guards following me around all the time. And it was a great arc. So like I had hope. I had strong hopes, but it was false. Afterwards, there's another arc where there's a widespread, contagious, deadly illness. Yes, this arc was written before 2020. And then Lucien shows up, and he tries to do his whole spiel, and then he's telling me to get away from you, and then you guys do like the whole back and forth horror thing. Can I just say, I'm sorry to all you Lucien fans that loved him after the reveal. I just need to know your mindset, because like if I wanted a love interest where I feared for my physical safety, I would go play Diabolic Lovers. Like, I need to know Lucien's fans like type, specifically post reveal Lucien. Like, if you stan Lucien post reveal, like, please tell me your favorite characters as well, because like I really need to know. Yeah, anyway, like there's, after the widespread illness gets out, there's this like a whole group, and they call the remaining survivors to the Coliseum, and then they tell them they need to kill each other, and then they'll give a cure, and then you find out that like you need to die and to get the cure, and then Victor stabs you and you die, and you're transported to another alternate universe. And you see where like the shit starts to get weird, because this is where I started to fucking hate the show. In this alternate universe, like everyone is like, it's where you've never existed, and they're usually like also an asshole to you, which like makes sense because you're a stranger. But like I genuinely stopped having fun here. Like it's a dating sim. Like I'm supposed to like have some type of fun, and then they artificially like inflate the difficulty of like the actual gameplay. Like, let me walk you guys through the gameplay loop. And when you first start the round, they will ask you questions that are usually easy to answer. This time, the questions were good questions, but the answers, which is multiple choice, were like all good answers. So like you basically are just like choosing at random. If you pick one, they like, okay, that makes sense, but it'll be like some type of like a weird reason for why it's not the answer. So you're basically honestly just choosing at random at this point. And then they had to go into routes, so now you can only use the card of the character that you're in the route with. And if you know anything about card collecting games, that is fucking hard to have 3 fully maxed out cards for every stat type, and 3 cards of one character. Like, are you kidding me? And then you had to grind it out. You had to grind out every chapter to unlock the next one. And it's like I don't get why am I suffering for this game? Like, I can't, like, what is happening? I'm so confused. Like, it's a waste of stamina, and then, like, if I'm using the stamina for the chapters, I cannot increase my cards, which I need to, because now I need to get the cards leveled up for all the fucking character stats, and it's just like a pain in the ass. Like, I literally cannot do it. And then it was the point of unlocking that next chapter, because I know it's gonna be depressing as hell. I even like this is like the end of season 1. I try to look up the plot line of season 2, like on like the Reddit and like the wiki. There's no like synopsis to entice me. I try to be like, like maybe it was worth it. Like I just need to push through. And there's nothing. Like so it's not only me. Like I went on the Reddit for like a synopsis of season 1. There's a thoroughly like well documented documentation for a synopsis of season 1. And I tried to look up, just vague things in the comment section about like what happened in season 2. They just keep resetting the world over and over again. It's like, what is the appeal of this? We had a perfect plotline set up in the opening of the game. What are we doing? I know I know you guys are gonna be like, wow, you sound like a little bitch, you couldn't beat the game, sounds like a skill issue, and you're right, but it's not just me. It's multiple people, I'll have you know. And ultimately the game has been meeting expectations for a long time. Like, they try to farm interactions on social media, nothing. They consistently cannot get enough money and income and revenue when they're doing gachas and introducing new mechanics like ASMRs, outfit changes, and just like a plethora of other things that I'm sure you can see were implemented into Deepspace, which thankfully ended up being its own powerhouse. But like, it's just so uncanny because I remember being there for the groundwork being laid, and now like it's all gone. I can't even look at the cards that I spent so much time on. And you can probably tell this is the first game that I actually cared about that was EOS. And don't get me wrong, I've had other EOSs before, but like I wouldn't really have that much time put into them. I put so much time into this game from like since I was in high school, and like now I have like a JLB, and it's horrible. Like I'm so sorry if you've dealt with like EOSs before. Like this is like horrible. I'm sick to my stomach. When Obama gets shut down, I might actually go into psychosis. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I can't really blame them for the writings on the wall when you're not making it. When you're constantly in the red and your story is kind of shit, you kind of just gotta shut it down. If you do want to play this game, you'll have to play it directly on the Chinese servers, because that is the only way that it's up. Otherwise, there have been lots of efforts on the subreddit and Discord solely dedicated to storing and archiving the game, and it's honestly like very inspiring. Additionally, there's currently like a survey asking the Elex. Additionally, there's like a survey asking Elex to not close the server, which I feel like is great, because no matter what, like, people have spent a lot of time and money on this game. Not me, only time and money, I'll have you know. Anyway, go play 11 Deepspace.